The following program is a locally produced feature presentation. DuBois TV proudly supports our local community by providing airtime and support for educational and community development related video programming that is created by our local schools, nonprofit groups, and independent video producers. DuBois TV encourages and welcomes content from our local communities. Please visit us online at duboistv.net and contact us for more information. And now, please enjoy our feature presentation.
This video is brought to you by Jeff Tech, the school of choice.
I'm Cindy Haynes, the owner of A Style for You. I am a volunteer at Jeff Tech.
Parents know the value of an education that works.
My son was a student here for 3 years and then went on to his auto body career and then on to college. This is like the real world in here. It's just like they're in their job while they are here. These kids are very prepared to go on to a secondary school. They can do whatever they want.
Take a video tour online at jefftech.us.
You are watching original educational programming produced by the students of the Digital Media Technology program at Jeff Tech. Visit us online at dmtstudio.net.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Jeff Tech News. Today we are going to be talking about vision and passion for education with our new administrative director, Mr. Barry Fillman. My guest host today. Say hello to the folks. Me. Jade, tell the folks who you are.
Always me.
And tell them where we're coming from today.
Well, okay. Hi, I'm Jade Steele. I'm a sophomore here at Jade Tech, and we are coming to you from Reynoldsville, Pennsylvania, in the Digital Media Technology Studios here at Jade Tech.
Absolutely. And as I said, our special guest today, would you like to do the honors and introduce our special guest?
Me.
There you go.
Me.
Absolutely.
Okay. So today we have our new administrative director, Mr. Barry Fillman, here with us to talk about his vision for Jeff Tech and why he decided to come back to Central Pennsylvania. Hi, Mr. Fillman.
Hi. I'm glad to be here today from our lovely studio and look forward to having this conversation.
Well, my first question is, why did you want to come back to Central Pennsylvania? It's cold.
It is cold, and luckily we like winter, so that was no deterrent to us. I grew up about 10 miles from the school, and it was a remarkable opportunity to come back to where I come from, bring my daughter home to our family, and be part of career in tech ed, which is part of my soul, and I've seen it change lives, and so that was a unique opportunity to come back and still be involved doing what I really want to do as a career and come home.
And you've been here for 2 months now.
Yes, I came in the middle of January.
Yeah, it was dead middle of January. And what has your experience been so far? What is your opinion so far of Jeff Tech?
I've really enjoyed my experience here so far, and just getting out and talking with students, talking with staff, getting into the shops and the classrooms and seeing what everyone's doing. It's just built up a lot of pride already for me in the great things that we accomplish here, the opportunities that students have, and I'm just looking forward to being a part of that, continuing and building on to the foundation that's here to really move the 2015 experience towards 2025 and be part of something that's already started here.
And, we just had our first annual career fair 2 weeks ago. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. What do you think the impact on students and on the staff here? What was the impact?
Well, the impact came out in a couple of different ways, and the first moment for me was Friday morning when everyone came through the door and they were all dressed up, everybody holding their heads a little higher and proud, ready to go represent, whether it was welding or health assisting or cosmetology, whatever they were going to represent that day. You could see the pride in everyone's faces, and they deserve to have that pride because they work hard to get really good at those skills that they've developed. And I came in here that morning, and everybody was bustling around and getting ready for the live.
That's nothing new.
Well, getting ready to go live for an hour that's putting it out there, and that was
scary.
so. But that's a pride in what you do to be able to put that forward. And so that part of the day, that getting ready, that sense of readiness and that pride in themselves is, to me, was the biggest part of the day, whatever happened the rest of the day. And then the students get to go down, the teachers go down, they interact with these business partners that we're so lucky to have. We had over 70 people representing 60 different organizations down there that day, which for the first time taking a crack at it was outstanding. And for the students to have that professional interaction, they get to hear maybe that thing that the shop teacher's been telling them anyway. They get to hear from another outside person to reinforce that. They get to have that dialogue with someone who has been through it 20, 30 years in the industry and is current because they're still in the industry. You can't put a price tag on those individual conversations. The employers, I think the win for the community is they got to see an entire student body of Jeff Tech that day and take that with them when they left. And I think for them to have that experience of the young professionals that they encountered that day speaks more loudly about this place than anything else we can do.
You know, and I didn't really get to participate in the career fair because I was doing the live stream that you just talked about. I was doing interviews out in the gym. I was part of the getting ready phase, and the hustle and bustle. I mean, I'm used to that. I'm with Mr. Ettaro. I'm in shop with Mr. Ettaro, so I'm used to the chaos.
It's managed chaos. We love it.
Most of the time, it's managed chaos, but and I got to see such an impact on the students just in here. I had never seen, in the weeks leading up to it, I had never seen, the students in here in general just sit down without having to, be told a couple times to just do what do their assignments, work on a yearbook, work on, a video, and do something to be productive while the team that was working on the live stream got everything together.
It was like that through the whole school.
And it was.
And I thought, in media, of course, we're always, look your best. You're on camera, you want to present yourself as such. And teenagers are teenagers. A lot of jeans and hoodies and sweatshirts and T-shirts, and that's normal stuff. So to see the entire school take that aesthetic appearance, to a whole new level. And to see the pride and the excitement that the kids, man, don't I look good, Mr. E?
Yeah.
You look awesome, I was thrilled to see that. It was a real big shot in the arm for everybody. And I want to say too, we can't forget this, that Mr. Fillman came in here January 19th, and I think it was our first staff meeting. He tells us, oh, by the way, we're having our first ever career fair in 2 weeks, guys. Better get on.
Yeah.
We're like, wow. All right. So
I didn't get told this 2 days before.
It was a huge effort for everybody.
Yeah.
You have any folks in the building you want to give a shout out? I mean, everybody, of course, but in particular.
I think it was just the buy-in from the entire staff was the first thing, that they were ready for this, and I think understood the importance for the students.
And it worked, man. It was like clockwork.
It was.
And we had Miss Nowak, who works in my office, and Mr. Gilhausen, who really helped tie the event side of the thing together. They took care of the event and allowed a lot of us to get out and interact and have the conversations we needed to have for the good of the school. And the buy-in from the career and tech ed teachers, having students ready to ask questions and just allowing us to come through and talk about what it means to present yourself and how to do that and all those things. It was a great team effort and a great statement for the staff here.
Yeah, and I think, along with the career tech ed teachers, they can tell their students time after time that when they go out there, they're going to do great things, and when they're going to succeed and they're going to get a job. But I think, I hear from a lot of people, being a student myself, I heard from a lot of people, hearing it from somebody else and hearing it from a potential employer is just, it's a whole different feeling.
When you get out into an environment like that, and some of the employers that are there are former students from here, and now they own companies and employ 30 other people, or have basically built up little different industries around the community, then you have to understand the potential. I think that drives it home to see somebody that, has 30 employees, or they have connections around the world through their industry. Anything like that you can show students that, oh, this is a graduate of the school, and it's true. It's true what they're saying. This is a gateway to our future success.
Go ahead.
Okay. And we talked earlier, this past weekend I just attended the ROVA Leadership Camp, which is the Rotary Outstanding Vocational Award.
And Jade, we actually sent 2 students there?
The other student was Macy Hollenbaugh.
There we go.
I'm not sure what job she's in. I believe she's in health assisting.
I think as well, yes.
I think she's in health assisting. But we both went there, and I actually didn't see her the entire weekend. That's how many kids were there, and the fact that there was so many kids from the career centers and from vocational schools that just all had the same, purpose of being there, is that they wanted to do something. They wanted to be there. Nobody was forcing them to be there.
And you don't have to wonder what the answer is when someone asks you where you're going to use what you're learning today. And that's the greatest gift you can give a student, because
it's the greatest thing.
You know where you're going, and how many students around the country, it's a lower percentage than we probably would care to hear, really are invested in, this is what I'm going to do on June 1st of the year I graduate. And I know that already, and I've met the employer I would like to work for, and I know what's going to be available for me to further my studies when I'm already employed and all that stuff. To me, that's the power of career and tech ed.
We should take a moment, actually, and recognize where we are in the school year. And what you're watching, as we said, this is Jeff Tech News, a periodic news feature that we do in service for our school and the community abroad, because let's face it, Jeff Tech, we support 4 different school districts: Brookville, Brockway, Du Bois, and Punxsutawney. A fantastic school, comprehensive academic programs as well here, so the kids are getting full-time academics while they're taking part in their vocational, career, and technical areas. We are just coming out of what we call our first round of applications, which happened after Christmas. And so if there's anybody out there, 8th grader, 9th grader, interested in coming on up here next year from those 4 school districts, it'd be great, Mr. Fillman, if you could tell us a little bit about why we know now why we're called the school of choice, because you have an option to come here. You come here, you explore one of the 14 program areas, you jump into the program area, you get a concerted, focused education, as well as great academics while you're here, but you have more options before you as well for extracurricular activities, the business aspect of what we do. Let's talk a little bit about opportunities and start with the application process. Is there a cutoff? What do kids have to do to get their applications in and start the school year here next year for 2015, 2016?
Well, of course, we want to continue to take applications, and we still are. So if you've heard that there's a cutoff date and applications were accepted, yes, they were, but we still are accepting applications for a second round of admissions for freshmen for the fall. And I would encourage anyone to call in who's considering that, and we can walk you through that process with our guidance counselors, 2 excellent guidance counselors who have a really unique set of partnerships with all the sending schools, so they can facilitate that process rather quickly. And of course, we have some areas that fill up, and then we have areas that we always have room, so we are able to find a niche for each student based on what their interests are and try to get them in an area that suits their skill set or their aptitude and interests.
Now, I think it's important to point out, too, that once they do get the ball rolling here, if they find that a CT area that they jumped into right away, maybe they found it wasn't what they thought that it was going to be, or, they want to try something else. They do have options once they actually attend Jeff Tech.
Yeah, the thing is, if you think you know the area, but you're not 100% sure, we can always work with a student once they're here to make sure that the area they're in continues to be the best fit for them. And we have some new openings that are options that are going to become available in the fall. We have an engineering program that recently got approved, which is going to be very unique because that engineering program sits in amongst our industrial area shops. So the student in welding, or the student in machine shop, or the student in automotive mechanics will be able to be part of a team in the engineering side and have this really brilliant cross-pollination of projects and problem solving, and it's just a unique opportunity.
There's the real world.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
the real world in action. That's fantastic.
And it's not even like just if you choose one shop, just if you say, our shop, for example, all you're going to do is video editing. I mean, that's not true at all.
No.
I mean, there are so many different things in each shop that you can grasp onto something very quickly, and you can change quickly.
And that's the thing. And you try to tell students that you may come here for culinary, and you may really like culinary. You may also pursue that and find yourself in a nursing home, doing the cooking in a nursing home, if you decide that you really would like to pursue that avenue. Or same thing with cosmetology. Those jobs can show up in different places. Somebody needs an auto mechanic. Well, I don't want to work in a typical dealership. Well, you could end up controlling someone's fleet. You could end up working on the fleet of UPS vehicles, and that's what you do. Or you could work for the state police fixing their vehicles. There's different ways to, even within a technical area, students need to keep their mind open to possibilities that aren't necessarily thought of as the traditional pathway within that pathway itself.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting in our staff meeting the other day. We were talking about our occupational advisory committee, and we actually bring that up in a moment for any business people out there that are interested in engaging with the school. Mr. Rischel, our building trades instructor, was talking about one of his students, graduates, and he mentioned something about working on
restoring biplanes.
Biplanes, yeah. So, I mean, certainly his years of experience here working with wood and building materials,
yes.
that's going to serve him incredibly well. So he might say, well, I'm working on in restoration of airplanes. Well, that's not building trades. Well, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. And some of these career fields that we offer are very portable and span across, a kid in an IT setting, whether that's the media production side, the marketing, the networking side of things. There's so many different avenues that you can go. You can work from home and never get out of your pajamas in the morning as a networking specialist.
Yes.
I mean, and that's the reality of 2015 job market, and why we have to be more agile when we plan, because we are responsible for graduating students that are prepared for that job market and a little bit beyond that job market.
Can I tell you a secret? I'm not really here right now. I'm at home, broadcasting myself in virtually, and I'm wearing SpongeBob pajamas underneath this desk.
There you go.
It's true.
We all are.
See?
I'm not. I have to go to school. I still have to be here for the second half of my day to go to my academics.
Well, let's talk about our occupational advisory committees. These, the face of Jeff Tech is always the people, the school, the students, the teachers, the administrators. But there is a vibrant community that operates behind the scenes that we don't see or hear about all that often, that actually helps to guide and advise our programs. Tell us about the Occupational Advisory Committee and how it steers each of these individual programs, Mr. Fillman, and the opportunities for any business person out there that might want to engage with the school at a deeper level. What opportunities do they have to get involved?
Well, and the biggest part of that whole advisory umbrella is relevance. So when we look at a student that's graduating through a pathway, we have to make sure that they're getting current and emerging trends within their shop. So we have, each of our career areas has their own advisory board specific to their trade. And what that does is ensure that that teacher who may have been out of the field for 2, 5, 10 years now and is the instructor still has that very ongoing link to industry as a whole, where they're able to keep their thumb on the pulse. Where is the emerging trend? What is the technology that I need to make sure that I incorporate into my area? What are the certifications that I want a student to have, that when they leave a program and they show me that certificate, I know that that verifies that they have the skill set that I'm looking for this job.
And even the soft skills.
Yes.
You know, I mean, somebody that is running marketing for a construction company and doing digital marketing and social network, marketing may need different skill sets than a person working in the PR department of a hospital.
Yes.
You know, so to engage at that level and really understand from a day-to-day working basis, are we as the instructors giving the kids all of the skills that they need?
Yes.
That is so important, so vital.
Yeah.
If somebody would want to get involved and they have a successful business, do they have to be an employer, or can we even just take one-on-one small mom-and-pop shops or single entrepreneurs?
I think the wider range of industry experts that we gain for each of our areas, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's merit to having the large company with tentacles spread throughout industry. I think there's advantages to having the employee from these companies be part of our advisory committees too. It's not necessarily the owner. It's
so it's not always the boss that you want.
No,
yeah.
I mean, we want the guy in the trenches who
That's a great point.
has encountered this issue with this 2014 model of a vehicle already and can help our auto mechanic students understand that in real time. It's the more that we get someone who's legitimately hands-on in the industry involved in those advisory committees, the more vital they are.
One last thing before we go that I know I want to touch on, and then we'll go back to Jade and see if she has any more questions for you. I don't want to forget this, though. This is very important because a big part of the school, again, I want to take an opportunity to promote some of the things that we don't normally pound on. Adult education. You know, we brought in a new adult education coordinator this year, and Megan is fantastic, has a big vision for what she wants to do. I know you're really passionate about this as well.
Yeah.
I don't want to neglect bringing that up here.
Yeah.
So take an opportunity, if you would, and tell our audience about what to expect from the adult education aspect of Jeff Tech.
Yeah, so adult ed, basically, there's, I guess, 3 different prongs that we would look at for adult ed. And one is that adult basic education, which is the student that maybe had some reason they didn't complete high school and they need to come back and finish. So we have that component built in there. We also have the ability to come in and take a course. If you'd like to get better at using your computer, you can take a course in that online and be able to learn about how to use Adobe products or use Excel or use different things like that you may want to learn.
How about a mouse?
A mouse. I mean, we can come in.
Some folks just need to know where the on button is. We can do that too.
So we can do that too.
Yeah.
And then we have that side where a adult who's employed in the industry can come in and take relevant training, either cohabitating with our secondary students, or we would have the ability to do some nighttime training like we do for welding, and we have a program running there at night. We have our practical nursing program, which 500,000 new nursing jobs in the next 5 years is staggering when you think about it.
And we just
that's
started
an issue.
online education,
Yes.
too. You mentioned that very quickly.
Yes.
There's a whole plethora of courses that people can take and just sign on. I know Mr. Walker the other day was testing our new shopping cart system, so you can pay with a credit card and pay a few bucks and take a short course online, too.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool stuff. So we're actually going to be hearing from Mrs. Bundy
Yes.
sometime soon. She'll be sitting in her chair and telling us more about that. You're watching Jeff Tech News. My name is Mr. Ettaro, and we're coming to you from the Digital Media Technology Studios in the IT Academy at Jeff Tech, introducing our new administrative director, Mr. Barry Fillman. And Jade, I believe you have a couple more questions for Mr. Fillman, and then we're going to wrap this episode up. Episode of Jeff Tech News.
You know, every time
I
I come,
saying that.
every time I come on this stage, he always has a new word for me.
I'm challenging your vocabulary.
I don't. You all got me off track.
Have you ever heard the word plethora? Oh, watch. By the way, you want to watch that?
I'm good. I was watching.
Make sure your hand's not up.
I'm fine. I was looking at it.
Very good. Do you know
so-
what plethora means?
No.
It's a lot of something.
It's a lot of stuff.
A lot of-
It's a lot of stuff.
So like his brain.
Mm.
Because it always gets here. I guess. Hold on. I gotta look at my questions now.
Ask him about the Viking. He looks great in the Viking.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the Viking because I have a picture of that on my phone now.
You scared me. You came in here. It's like,
It is so fun. Can I put it on?
It was cool.
Can I wear the Viking costume? That's my first question.
Every place needs. It sounds small, but it's not really small. That every place needs that piece of their identity too.
Mascot.
The mascot.
I know.
What is that one thing that we are Vikings, and we are Vikings,
We have
and so we need to
sports.
celebrate that and live that up a little more too.
That's a
honestly.
great
I love
outfit.
it.
We'll have to pull the picture up and edit that in after here.
I want to wear
Put
the
that on
outfit.
Yeah.
Put the Viking up there.
Yeah. I absolutely love it, especially being in the media wing, doing a lot of the marketing. We've never been allowed to use the Viking.
Yeah,
For
that's
some-
cool. We
for
got to
some-
get the Viking up on the green screen and do some fun stuff with it.
You can.
I just wanna
you
wear the
guys
Viking
You guys
costume.
can come get it whenever you want.
Can I come
honestly.
wear it?
It's-
Can I wear it during school, Jay?
I don't.
If you're not going to be disruptive, that's the goal.
Don't commit. Don't
Yeah,
trust
that's
me.
what I-
Don't commit
Yeah.
to this one. She'll hold you to it.
I will come down to your office. So we've talked a little bit about adult education, the occupational
Advisory committees, yes,
that word.
absolutely. 3 words. OACs.
He's always got one of me.
Oh, we talked about the recruitment
We
process
did.
and the application
We did.
process. Absolutely.
Um,
Oh, there is another program we should mention. What's the other program that they're trying to fill up? Yeah.
Hey, I got
See
it
where we are
right.
with that.
Hey, yeah. So I guess this has been going on for a couple of years now. That they've been trying to fill up HVAC, which is heating, ventilation, air conditioning.
And refrigeration.
Excellent.
That's not in the acronym.
HVAC.
Oh, you know, that's funny because I'm sitting here going, I was just about to say, do you know what that stands for, those letters? And I was going to
Heating,
challenge your
ventilation, air
vocabulary
conditioning.
again by asking you if you knew what an acronym was. But you
And-
did. I'm impressed
Why are you impressed?
because I'm impressed.
And HVAC is one of those businesses that we are going to be paying more for that person to come to our house than we're going to be paying to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I mean,
The systems are getting increasingly
because it's
complex,
just-
computerized.
and
mean,
if we
my
don't
goodness.
jump on that as an if we don't jump on that, then we're passing up opportunities for kids, and that's one of the biggest things here is where are the jobs, and that's the biggest underlying
one of
principle.
them.
Where are the jobs? There's the jobs. So let's go there with our education, and that's, to me, that makes that opening that shop a no-brainer because we could graduate 15 kids a year. They'll all have jobs. I mean, it's not rocket science.
Now, do we have? Are we filling it up? Is there applications? Are there kids coming?
Yes,
to that?
we do have some students committed to it, and then going through some other approvals, what we're going to do is roll out a second round of information to people to make them aware of the fact. I got here in January, got the program approved in February, by our joint operating committee. And so that gives us the ability to go out and really start to market it. We had some students that had indicated they wanted to come here for that. So they are already in, and then we're now able to go out and find some students that would like to be added into that program.
Awesome. I mean, I didn't know, like, when I came here for my 8th grade tour, which was I don't know how many years ago. I'm old now. We were in the cafeteria, and they were talking to us about HVAC, and they were trying to get it set up that year, which would have been, I guess, last year.
It takes time. I mean, the school system is
Yeah.
a system, and it is a complex bureaucry, and it takes time.
But the important thing is,
Yeah, I mean, it's finally
It's
here,
running.
and I'm
That's
really
the important
excited. I am really excited. And I guess I should ask, your vision. I mean, we've talked a lot about the different programs here, just like, but you came from Polytech, which is a vocational school, or is it a career center?
It's a vocational
Okay.
school, full-time, 4-year comprehensive high school with adult ed attached, and
So it's the same
Well, see,
structure,
that's-
yeah.
but
see,
bigger.
that's weird.
You have a much larger population,
Yeah.
right?
That's-
You're from Delaware.
Yeah. No, he's not from
Well, from here, but
My-
you came from
my
Delaware.
previous, that was where my previous work experience was, and so, irregardless of where I came from or what I'm coming into, my vision is really that we graduate every senior in this place trained in an emerging career field. And what I mean by emerging, I mean that they're current. So they didn't learn about auto mechanics in 1975. They're learning about auto mechanics in 2015. They graduate from here with a certification that proves to any prospective employer that they get it and that they understand how to do what it is that we're saying they know how to do. So we train them. We get some independent certifying organization to put the stamp on that student as they know their stuff. And then we tie that in together by ensuring that all of our career fields we offer are focused on high demand employment. So, in other words, is there actually a market for students that graduate? So that's one piece of the puzzle. We graduate students that understand what it means to be a professional, and they back that up when they walk into a place. And then we want to also have exposure for students to post-secondary opportunities. We want them to have that while they're in high school and knock off that idea that I'm not sure if I can do that or not. Yes, you can, because you did it when you were in high school. And that's the vision going forward. And we'll get there to a point where this is something that's internalized amongst every student we have.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, like, I know when I first came here, there's a lot of talk about, oh, you can't go to college when you go to Jeff Tech. And
Well, that's a common myth.
that's a common myth.
It's just
And I guess I can say from personally, I just applied to Michigan State University for the College of Communications. I've completely changed my career pathway from last year when all I would do was photography.
Mm-hmm.
He got really irritated with me. I wouldn't do anything else. And then he made me do something else for my career research. And I chose the second best thing, which was graphic design.
And honestly, the thing that we have to offer with that post-secondary pathway is that
We already have a step ahead.
oftentimes you're out there and you're already employed. If you can prove to an employer, I have a remarkable skill set and I understand what it means to be a good employee for you, they're going to be more likely to invest in your next step. And that's an opportunity that is there for students to come from a school like this. We can get out there and prove ourselves, and then an employer is going to say, I don't want to lose this individual to a company that will do this for them.
Absolutely.
And they're going to support that person to go to a university to get that next step. Or if you're a CNA for certified nurse assisting, they're going to support for you to go for your practical nursing. They're going to work around your schedule. They're going to provide some financial incentives because they want good employees. And to me, that's where that post-secondary opportunity really lies. And
And even if a student doesn't want to, go to college, they have a lot of places. Have in Jeff Tech, a lot of shops have the ability that they get certified enough that they get certified and have enough certifications. They don't need to go to college.
It's
they
true.
have. I mean, I know auto mechanics. They get their state inspection license.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to go to college for 4 years
And
when they've already done it in high school.
Is that you can go out and start right away, and you don't
If
know
you
where
want.
your pathway is going to lead you, and that's the biggest thing. I would have never known I would end up sitting in this seat today, and I was.
Neither did I.
I was finishing concrete for a local company. I was a nighttime chef, and it took me time to find my way, but I had a set of skills that would insulate me from wondering what I could do today, and I think that's the biggest part of my life that I look back that led me exactly here, because I appreciate having that skill set and being able to utilize that. And honestly, every student deserves to have a start, and that's what we provide.
I think one of the coolest things about career and technical education, for me, I came from the real world. I did this for 20 years and started teaching. I've been here for 7 years. So it was like, okay, wow, education that actually is the real world. What an interesting concept, So when the kids leave here, how many times do students go on to higher education from traditional high school, and they operate from a standpoint of theory for many, many years, and to the tune of many thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars
I know.
to, I'm just going to go, I got to go to college because that's what you're supposed to do, get your 4-year degree and move away from central Pennsylvania, and,
Work at McDonald's.
sign up for some generic, undeclared major, and you'll figure it out. And $30,000 later, 2 years later, you're sitting there going, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Guess what? You can come to Jeff Tech. You can be here for 4 full years, and you can walk away with a real-world
Education.
experience, knowing exactly what the career pathway is, and have the skill sets to be able to jump right into the workforce. If you want to go to college, you're more prepared to do so because you know what you're getting into and you have those skills that you need.
Yep.
I mean, we don't call it the school of choice for nothing. Career and technical education, I believe, you're a big fan of Mike Rowe, and we should take the show out and put up a clip of him talking about this. This is where America needs to be focusing.
But the biggest reason I'm a fan of Mike Rowe is because he gets the dignity of hard work.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing that I think somehow.
What's what built this country?
Somehow.
It's true.
And we need to understand that importance and get back to the dignity of being really good at something and doing it to the best of your ability every day. And that's honorable, and it's too important for us to look past, and I think that's just our ability to hammer that home even more in a place like this.
Well, we'll leave it at that. That is a fantastic message. Mr. Barry Fillman, welcome back to Central Pennsylvania.
It's good to be home.
Welcome to Jeff Tech. It's been
It's getting warmer, so I guess you can say that.
That's right.
Yeah,
See, I cannot talk about wanting to get away from the cold. I'm going to Michigan. What am I talking about?
Outstanding.
You'll have feet of snow.
Lexi Douglas in the booth today, running our operations board for us.
So
We appreciate
cute.
it. She does absolutely fantastic.
She's amazing. I love her. She should get up here with me sometime.
Great job. Behind the scenes.
No.
And I want to remind everybody, if you are interested in learning more about Jeff Tech, that you can catch us online at jefftech.us.
But hey, Mr. Taro.
Yes.
Where can they find us?
Oh, the Digital Media Technology Program. If you're interested in what we do here and want to learn more, you can view student videos and project reports and learn all about our wide program at DMT for Digital Media Technology, dmtstudio.net. And of course, if you look both of those entities up on Facebook as well, we're always putting out information about what a great place this is. So you're watching another episode of Jeff Tech News. That wraps it up. I'm Mr. E, and
I'm Jade Steele.
And our special guest, Mr. Barry Fillman, new Administrative Director at Jeff Tech. We will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.